revolutionizing access to alternative investments for 401k participants. In the world of retirement savings, a significant divide exists. While a portion of affluent individuals and government employees involved in public pension schemes are able to engage with a variety of alternative assets, over 90 million Americans who are part of employer-sponsored defined contribution plans are largely locked out of these investment opportunities. This exclusion means that the majority of working individuals miss out on the advantages that alternative investments can offer, opportunities for diversification and growth that could enhance their retirement savings. For fiduciaries managing 401k and similar defined contribution retirement accounts, the responsibility is substantial. They must thoroughly evaluate all facets of private investment options, including the expertise and track record of investment managers, all with the aim of safeguarding the interests of American workers, whose retirement funds they oversee. Their ultimate goal is to ensure that investments are made prudently and with safety in mind. During my first term in office, my administration took steps by issuing a letter in 2020. This letter suggested that judicious federal actions could promote diverse investment strategies. These strategies could allow for a portion of retirement plan participants' funds to be allocated to alternative assets, a practice already embraced by institutional investors. However, the landscape is complicated by an overwhelming wave of lawsuits that challenge the careful, reasonable decisions made by dedicated fiduciaries. In addition, restrictive guidance from the Department of Labor since my tenure began has blocked millions of Americans from accessing the benefits of alternative asset investments. These types of investments are increasingly becoming central features of public pension funds and defined benefit retirement plans, known for offering competitive returns and diversification. Sadly, a mix of regulatory overreach and the encouragement of litigation by opportunistic lawyers has curbed innovation in investment. This has effectively imprisoned 401k participants within limited asset classes, which often lack the long-term advantages realized by public pension funds and other institutional investors. My administration is committed to removing these regulatory hurdles and the fear of litigation that stands in the way of American workers seeking the competitive returns and diverse investments crucial for a dignified retirement. Chapter 5. It is the guiding policy of the United States that every citizen preparing for retirement should have the ability to access funds that include alternative asset investments, as long as the relevant fiduciary assesses that such access can enhance the risk-adjusted returns on participants' retirement assets. Unlocking access to alternative assets. To clarify, alternative assets encompasses a wide range of investment opportunities. 1. Private market investments. This includes direct or indirect stakes in equity, debt, or other financial instruments that aren't traded on public exchanges, particularly those where fund managers are proactively involved in managing these companies. 2. Real estate interests. This category incorporates both direct and indirect stakes in real property, including debt instruments secured by these properties. 3. Active investment vehicles. This can also refer to investment options that focus on digital assets engaged in actively managed approaches. 4. Commodities. This includes investments made directly or indirectly in various commodities. 5. Infrastructure projects. These are investments geared towards financing developmental projects in infrastructure. 6. Lifetime income strategies. These refer to investment strategies that focus on longevity risk-sharing pools, aimed at providing steady income over time. Future actions. Within the next 6 months, the Secretary of Labor is tasked with reviewing past and current guidance regarding fiduciary responsibilities under the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, ERISA. This review will particularly focus on making available to participants a fund that incorporates alternative assets. This includes reassessing the December 21, 2021 Supplemental Private Equity Statement. Additionally, the Secretary will work towards clarifying the Department of Labor's stance on alternative assets and the fiduciary processes involved in offering funds that include such investments. This process must identify the standards by which fiduciaries can judiciously weigh potential higher upfront costs against the potential for greater long-term returns and wider investment diversification. The Secretary may suggest new rules or guidelines that outline fiduciary duties in the context of providing participants these alternative investment options, potentially establishing safe harbors for better legal protection. In executing these directives, the Secretary should engage with the Secretary of the Treasury, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and other federal regulators as deemed necessary to achieve the objectives of this order, including any concurrent regulatory changes that may be beneficial. Moreover, the SEC, in collaboration with the Secretary, will explore methods to enhance access to alternative asset investments for participants in defined contribution retirement plans. This may involve reassessing current SEC regulations and guidelines regarding accredited investors and qualified purchasers, aligning them with the order's goals. Concluding notes. This order is not meant to undermine the authority or operational functions of any executive departments or agencies. It is designed to be implemented in compliance with all applicable laws and subject to appropriations. Moreover, it doesn't create any substantive or procedural rights enforceable against the United States or its related entities, officials, or agents. As we forge ahead on this path toward democratizing access to alternative assets, we urge you to ponder, should all workers have a stake in alternative investments, or do the risks outweigh the potential benefits? We invite your thoughts and perspectives. Let's engage in this critical conversation.